up, baby. Yeah. The Mac is back. Back with another video. Hello, the initiated. My name is Marcus Junnikkala, and today we're checking out Haunted Spaces 2 by Soniccouture. I'm actually really excited for this one because Haunted Spaces 1, or just Haunted Spaces as it was known, was a library that a lot of people praised. And I never got my own hands on it. I was pretty close a couple of times. But the only reason I didn't buy it back then was because I didn't have a project to use it on immediately. And if I buy something, I like to actually have something that I'm putting it to use immediately. But that's the only thing that's been stopping me from checking this out. A lot of people have nothing but really, really high praise about the first version or iteration of this library, especially when it comes to the kind of, sound designy, ambient kind of stuff. And as you know, I tend to like that stuff a lot. What is this thing? Let's go to the website to learn a bit more. So, again, this is called Haunted Spaces 2. I looked at the website and it doesn't actually have Haunted Spaces 1 or just Haunted Spaces there anymore. So seems like this is like an upgrade or a version. I'm not sure what is the right word to use here, but seems like they just sort of keep, at least for now, upgrading or updating Haunted Spaces itself instead of having a version 1 and version 2, which is something that I'd probably say most companies do. So it's quite interesting. And to my understanding, this is kind of like a version upgrade. There's a bunch of new stuff, but it kind of comes on top of what was there in version 1, to my understanding. But let's actually keep reading and to learn a bit more. Also, an important thing to understand about this is that there are sound packs that you can add onto this one. There's a bunch of different people or groups that are doing these packs, so you can get more or something more specific that you're looking for out of Haunted Spaces. So for example, we have Twins, Dark plus Light, Sound Design Team K/B. We've checked out some of their stuff before as well. We got some Ian Body stuff, Ghost Planet, The Unfinished, November Sky, Particle Velocity. So yeah, a bunch of add-ons that you can bolt onto this one. Those are separately... wait a minute. Sound packs are only available to existing users of the full Haunted Spaces product. To buy, log into your user account and you'll see the sound pack appear as paid upgrade. So I'm not logged in right now, so I don't know what those cost, but you go check them out. That's pretty interesting. I would probably love to see the pricing here just to have an idea of what I'm looking at. Because if I'm interested in this, I don't see the pricing. I'm a bit like, why? Why can I not see the pricing? So I think some people might be a bit bummed by that. But again, log in to see what that is about. So, Haunted Spaces 2, field recording plus sound design. So that's the basic principle here. 178 Chris Watson recordings. So Chris Watson is a well-known field recordist. I don't know. Sorry, Chris, if that's not the best term. I'm sure it will be mentioned here very soon. But yeah, he's known in that space. You get 550 presets, which means I'm screwed for this video, but we'll try and do our best. You can load user samples. So again, this is a massive thing. I think this is one of those things that separates a great sample library from an excellent one. Not the only thing, but it's one of those things that really bumps up the library to the next level, because it just means you can do so much more with it when you're not locked into just the created content. Contact player and KS. So yeah, you don't need the full version with this one. Let's touch on the pricing, as it is still, well, not still, it's right here, right here. So full price seems like in euros, this is going to be 199 euros. All right. And now you have an intro pricing, which ends on May 11th, 2026 is the year. And the intro pricing is 139 euros. So I don't know what that is percentage-wise, but a pretty good chunk. So yeah, I can definitely appreciate that. It's not quite, what is it? Is it like 30 something, 40%? Something like that. We have a video on this, which I'm sure is really good, but we're not going to watch it here for many reasons. Not to spoil it for myself and also for copyright stuff. But there is a quote here. Events haunt spaces. Field recordist Chris Watson has spent years collecting audio recordings from what he describes as haunted spaces. I'm sure he says it like that every time. Hey, I always wonder if you could develop the next version of haunted spaces. A personal obsession, he believes that past events add a charge to the atmosphere of places. This is a very interesting concept, which I find, at the very least, very interesting. I actually think I made a podcast episode on this. I'm not sure if it got off the edit table. It probably was too difficult of a topic to get into a decent place. But I do think there's something to that. We don't have the physics or anything else to really explain that, but I think there is something to that. And can be felt and detected in their sonic ambience. Yes, agreed, Chris. Cold War bases, abandoned silver mines, ancient temples, ice lagoons. Places rich with human drama and significance. I wonder what kind of human drama is happening in ice lagoons. Because I imagine people don't really go there much. Am I wrong? Is there like a culture somewhere where people hang out and do horrible things or good things? It doesn't need to be negative. In ice lagoons. I imagine not a lot of human history there. These recordings are evocative, spacious, and resonant. Haunted Spaces is the ultimate tool for ambient sound design. Cool. Sound on Sound has said, an easy and effective way to create unnerving and spooky sound design. All right. Yeah, so this section is repeating what we just went through. Here you can see the main panel, but we'll go through that as we go through the interface. But basically XY control, zone, thingy-majingy, 4 waveform elements, drag and drop user samples, pitch, envelope, filter, LFO controls. So it seems like pretty kind of standard stuff here. Again, I think, I've said this before, for like kind of the XY patty thing, the samples make all the difference. It just really boils down to that. I'm not saying there aren't, cool, innovative things you can do in the programming space for that as well. But to me, in my experience, really the samples really just make or break the approach. The heart of Haunted Spaces 2 is the cube control, a 4-point vector control that allows you to create complex movements between 4 different waveforms of your choosing, or add your own samples. Between 4 waveforms or add your samples. The cube can be fully animated and the movements tempo synced to your DAW. Each of the 4 waveforms can have independent filter, envelope, pitch, and LFO settings. So cool. So it's hybridizing like a waveform synthy thing with the samples, seems like. Here we have a bit more about Chris Watson. The world's leading recordist of wildlife and natural phenomena. What about unnatural phenomena? Maybe, haunted spaces sounds pretty unnatural to me. Born in 1953 in Sheffield, Watson was a founding member of the influential Sheffield-based experimental music group Cabaret Voltaire. His sound recording career began in 1981 when he joined Tyne Tees Television. Since then, he has developed a particular and passionate interest in recording the wildlife sounds of animals, habitats, and atmospheres from around the world. As a freelance composer and recordist for film, TV, and radio, Watson specializes in natural history and documentary location sound together with sound design in post-production. Nice. Some David Attenborough stuff here. The OG. I don't know if he's in like I guess OG. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that's valid. The Life of Birds. Won a BAFTA. Okay, solid, yeah. Recording locations. We touched on a bit of those, but this is actually a really nice section to have so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. So we have Warfare Research Base in Suffolk. That looks amazing. I love this kind of, I don't know if that counts as brutalist architecture, but really nice looking space. Abandoned bank building. They ran out of money. Abandoned wool storage space. Place du Georges Pompidou. I don't know how to pronounce that. Persephone's well. Did they go inside there? Maybe drop a mic in. Hydroelectric power station in Iceland. Ooh, nice. Vingeland Mausoleum in Norway. Yeah, that's an amazing space. I've heard some gig recordings in this. It's kind of like a legendary space, actually, I think. Gomantong Bat Caves in Borneo. Turbine Vantsvel Power Station in Iceland. Orford Ness Centrifuge Room. Ooh, that looks cool. Aztec City, Mexico. Did you sneak in there, Chris? Did you get a permit? Reglingshausen Mine Works in Germany. Waitomo Caves. I don't know. It looked first Japanese to me. That looks amazing. What is the light in the ceiling? Waitomo sounds Japanese to me, but it's New Zealand, so missed that one. Brussels Zuid Station. Abandoned Ranch, Mexico. Mountain Lake, Lofoten Islands in Norway. Castle Gates, Dunstanburg. Desert at Hegra, Saudi Arabia. Recording under ice, Finland. Let's go, Chris! I hope you got in the ice as well. Like for swimming. That sounded very ominous, wrong. We cut the ice open and we go swimming there. That's why I said it, okay? Nice. I wonder where in Finland is this? Because it obviously looks quite generic Finnish. Tunnel under the town. Pamplona, except it's Spanish, which I can't imitate. Nabatain Shrine. Where was that? Hegra. Nice. Very cool. So, specs-wise, 178 original Chris Watson recordings. So again, recordings-wise, this is what you're looking at. And now in V2, you get 50 new recordings. So that's pretty good. That's like, 30, a bit less than a third of the original. But that's a good addition in terms of numbers. 240 original Soniccouture sample sets, including Undioline, Novachord, bowed piano, and many custom sounds. And 50 of those added in V2 as well. 560 preset snapshots. Okay, sorry, if I said on top of... I'm not sure if I did, but these are the numbers that are in there now, as I understand it, and this V2 just tells you what was added in V2. Okay, 112 added into the presets, and there are now 560, I think. It's a 9 gig library, which is like a surprisingly, I guess, I thought it would be bigger. This is a very small footprint, which is great. Again, they are just like field recordings, so they're in terms of waveform complexity, because if you sample like a violin, you have to do multiple different dynamic and volume and velocity layers for that, and that's why those libraries are huge. But this would be just the field recordings that made it in here. So in that sense, makes sense. I did expect it to be a bit bigger, but makes sense, and happy to see like a small footprint. Cool. Compatibility, contact player 7 or 8. And again, native access is where you get it from then once you purchased. You don't need the full version of contact. Basic stuff. Contact 7. Geez, that's very confusingly written. /8. Okay, so yeah, full or contact 7/8 player. Version 7.10 or later. So you need that at least to run this thing. Cool. Good. I think we are somewhat on track here now. Let's go back to the DAW and go ahead and close the Chromage. So, what is the plan for today? Very basic as usual. I'll try and play as much of this to you as possible, and we're going to do so in the form of going through the presets. So, in terms of technical tweaking, this is not the video for you. This is me trying to play as much of this to you so you can hear whether this is for you or not. If I do tweak anything, it's because I'm hearing something I want to explore and then I jump in and tweak. But in terms of being a technical tweakage video, this is not going to be that. So I'm going to try and play as much to you as possible. What else? In terms of what you'll be hearing today, it's only Haunted Spaces 2 in action. I don't add anything on top of it whatsoever. No EQ, no reverb, no compression, no nothing. I do have a limiter on my master bus to keep an eye on the level for this video, but it's set to be as transparent as possible, so you should hear very minimal, if any, coloration. And I only use it to control or monitor and control the gain output of this video so that it's as digestible and enjoyable for you as possible. So most of the time you won't be hearing the limiter at all because we won't be hitting the limiter. I'll simply be boosting the gain so that we can have an enjoyable video experience here, hopefully. This is a blind video. Like I said, I knew of Haunted Spaces 1, but I actually have never played it before. So this is a completely new experience for me, and I'm going in completely blind. I've heard some individual stuff maybe, I don't know, years ago, and I did press a couple of keys here just to check that we're good to go for the video. But other than that, this is my blind authentic response to Haunted Spaces 2. In terms of transparency, Soniccouture did send me this copy, so thank you to them for doing so. Also, I am being compensated for my time that it takes to check this out and also do all the video editing and other work that goes into making these reviews. That being said, all opinions are my own, both in good and in bad. I haven't been asked to say anything one way or the other, nor would I ever do that. Now, as we're going through the presets, obviously there are so many that we can't unfortunately do them all. But what we're going to do, thanks to Contact 8 previews, we can go bank by bank, and we can preview different sounds from the browser. Now, especially for ambient soundscapey libraries, it's not very demonstrative because they just, play one note. It doesn't really tell you much of what's going on, especially for pad type of sounds. But it's still better than nothing. And based on me hearing something interesting, I'll open that preset and play more of it. And we'll do that hopefully until we go through the entire library here in that manner. In terms of the order here, I'm trying to think of what is the most sensible way of doing it. I'm thinking we'll start with soundscapes. We'll go into pads and then do other stuff after that. I think I want to focus because, again, haunted spaces kind of implies the ambience, the locality. So I'm thinking soundscapes makes the most sense to me to check out. Quite nicely here in the browser, they have put different categories for the new presets in version 2. This is very nice, very convenient, at least as you're going into this as a new library. But that helps a lot. I think we're gonna mostly focus, well, not mostly, but primarily focus on the new sounds because there are probably people who are interested in those. And then we'll go into the more, or the original sounds. So I'm thinking we'll go do that. Unfortunately, here in the contact browser, I can't see the subcategories because here they are divided into calm, noisy, and ominous. This would be the best way to... I would like to go through them in that sort of a manner, because the more categories we have, the better it is for you as a viewing experience, because I get to timestamp those. But it's probably going to be a bit too difficult to pull off, because then I would have to open them through here, which is a bit challenging. So yeah, due to those subcategories lacking here in the browser, we're going to have to tackle them all in one go, in under just the Soundscapes timestamp here. But I think that's the way I want to approach this here. And after we're done with Soundscapes and pads, we'll go into the other categories as well. Before we jump into the interface, down here below you have these 3 different tabs. So the middle one is called Haunted Spaces, and that is kind of the main XY pad page. Then you have something called a jammer on the left, which I think I know what it is based on other products, but we're going to jump into the manual just in case, just to kind of clarify for you as well as me. And then you have this effects page, which is quite self-explanatory. I really like this kind of changing interface design here. I think Soniccouture has done some really good interface work before, especially on polarity tension. I really like how it works, and this is a very kind of space saving but super clear simultaneously. About the jammer page, let's go to the manual over here. Let's just browse through this quickly. There are locations here. What I do appreciate about this is the detail and specificity. So here we have the locations, which are very specifically described here. This can be a big time saver when you're looking for sounds to use. Let me just have a look at whether the browser has this level of detail. Okay, so it kind of just describes the place, which is good information, very very useful. But yeah, it doesn't seem to go in as much detail as the manual does, which makes sense completely. But this can be useful to have on the side, or at least have a look at, get to know it. Obviously, once you know a lot of the source recordings, then you can you don't really need all this additional information, and it would definitely clutter up the interface. But maybe some kind of a additional info box option would be good for some people. But yeah, a lot of detail there, so I do very much appreciate that. Let's move past this. So snapshots, main panel, the cube control. In each corner you have an element, a waveform, and as the cube moves towards that element, it becomes louder. So it's kind of like a relative volume control. This is in fact an XY pad or vector controller, which hopefully is kind of obvious to most people, but there you go. If you click on the element name, you will find the waveform browser. Makes sense. Dice icon, you get a random waveform. I really like the dice controls in here because it's such a fast way of like shifting your context and perspective. Because if you get stuck and you're like, oh, I don't know what to look for or test, just keep rolling that dice and testing different random sounds. I love it as a feature. I think it should be a standard in, just about everything. If you click on the mix icon at the bottom right of the main panel, you will open the editor. Let's go there. No, wait, where are you? Oh, it's just lagging. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. So it's kind of a deeper dive into all the basic controls. That makes sense. Micro tuning page. That is actually quite useful because sometimes you do want to fine tune your atmospheres if you're like trying to match them to a certain song. Obviously, you can also tune in Contact, but this seems to be, more granular control. All right, so here is the jammer panel. The play button in the middle bottom enables or disables the jammer. Any element, jeez, any elements that are set to respond to the jammer on the main Haunted Spaces panel will do so. The 5 knobs along the top of the jammer are global controls. These are mode, rate, length, velocity offset, and swing. Okay, yeah, it says that there. I guess a description of what the jammer is would be a nice thing to have there as the very first thing, instead of explaining what it does. I mean, obviously it does become more obvious as you read these descriptions, but I think a summary would be kind of useful. So mode, this sets the type of arpeggiation used to create patterns. So yeah, this is kind of like a pattern creator. Original jammer mode is random, but you can choose up, down, or up, down. So yeah, ARP. Speed of the jammer is controlled by the rate. Makes sense. Length is an offset to the duration of the created notes. All right. Velocity offset, swing. Makes sense. Yeah. So basically, ARP pattern creation there. If you click on Evolve, the button changes to display loop. Okay, yeah, so gaps add random rests or silent beats into the jammer sequence. Cool. So kind of like some kind of sequencer ARP thingy-majingy. We'll jump deeper into that if I find a good use for that or want to test something, but cool. I think that's puts us on the map sufficiently regarding the jammer. All right, so let's start going through presets. Let's go into Soundscapes. We'll choose version 2 bank and start pressing some keys. It's really cool. It gives me some Japanese vibes there. Obviously, the name is kind of hinting towards that. I will say, like, at first, when they describe these corners as being waveforms, I find that because when I hear waveforms, I start to think about, like, synthesis, and they just mean, like, as in waveform sample recording. I presume. I mean, based on this, I don't see any. Obviously, we do have strings here. I guess they use that word so that, because they're not all field recordings, they're not all kind of source recordings of different locations. We have strings, winds, brass, choral. So it is a mixture of things. It's maybe a bit strange term. They are waveforms, that's very true. But I do worry that some people will kind of misunderstand that. Obviously, once you have a look at this, it's pretty obvious that it doesn't all refer to synth material. Obviously, we have synth category here as well. What I do like here in the browser, geez, it's been a rough few days, so I do apologize for my speaking. We have a button here for the new. So this is really, really good because it obviously tells you what is new in version 2 now and what isn't. So this is very, very cool. And it stays on for, oh, does it? Yep. Stays on for all these categories. So that's good. Yeah. So, okay, we have a bunch of different sources, synth, location, strings, winds, stuff like that. So yeah, I would probably use a term like source sample rather than waveform, because that, to me at least, strongly implies a synth source, like a waveform synth source. But I don't know, you let me know what you think. I think that would probably be a bit clearer with other terminology. I think this is a really, really cool one. I love the clanking. It's all very realistic and natural. Nothing here is like overhyped in a negative way. Very, very nice. Ooh, nice bit of resonance there. I will say everything here loads up super fast. I mean, it's only, obviously loading up for samples in terms of waveforms, and that for modern tech, that's not too big of a thing. But still, I mean, it feels super, super fast compared to a lot of stuff. It is velocity responsive, so finding a good level for all of these is going to be a bit, going to have to tweak as we go along. actually really like that. I would tweak it further, but the concept of kind of a nice mix of kind of location recording and synthy stuff. So yeah, here you can hear the jammer do its thing, and if you watch the keys on the contact interface, you can see that it's actually triggering the notes on that level instead of doing it internally in the engine. Here, kind of like I'm personally not a fan, of that kind of like pitching, changing thing for the more ambient location recording sounds, but a really, really nice concept. If I have a more percussive sound, that would really work super nicely for something like that for me. Yeah, so far I'm seeing like this is like it's like a toy box in which I'm jumping into, and I can see things that I want to pursue and follow. It really evokes a lot of ideas for sure. Yeah, I mean, this loads up super, super fast. I'm still kind of, it's quite unusual in the contact space, I would say. Okay, I really love this sequencing, how it's working here. Just straight up switching between different zones. That is very cool. I think you can create some very interesting kind of atmosphere meets percussive hybrid type of stuff with that. That is very, very appealing to me, actually. I like how the noise and the ambience can be used in a percussive way. Let's go to the main bank here. Okay, so unfortunately, yeah, seems like the all sub banks also includes the version 2 stuff. So we're probably going to skip that altogether. Yep, looks like it. I tried to check for that before we started, but it doesn't, I didn't at least see that it does that. But let's do a few more here from Soundscapes, and I'll try and pick stuff that we didn't go through. So this would be some of the more original content from version 1. Yeah, that sine wave resonance really just takes up all the space in that sound. That's why the limiter crapped out. Yeah, that's really cool. It seems like these are maybe a bit louder than the new ones. Could be just coincidence. Very, very cool. That's a very like ambience meeting atmosphere type of a hybrid. That's the limiter. Yeah, this is just, yeah, it's even clipping contact there. That water recording is super visceral, very tactile. You can almost feel it. Limiter. Yeah, anything water, wind related here is very, very nice. Loving that. Very nice. Very great example of putting together ambience and synthesis. I love that subtle, plucky synthy thing. Maybe I would pull back the digital kind of moving thingy, but that's just personal preference. Beautiful. Let's favorite that. I'm trying to remember to do this. It's going to be tough to harmonize with. I love church bells are just, they can be really, really beautiful and, I don't know, psychedelic sounding, even at times. I love this a lot. I mean, you know, I love dark ambient. This is super, super good for that. I also love the tiny detail. I did look at the pictures here behind the interface as well. You see the pier in the bottom right and all the other spaces in the pictures. A small detail, but that's actually very useful because it can help you kind of visualize how you want to move the sound through these different spaces. Small detail, but makes a big difference. Ooh, I love this. Sounds like anything like primal like that is very good. Cool, I love that low drone. It's very, very solid. Cool. Difficult to do kind of ambient synthy thing put together in a way that makes sense, but that does it. actually really like that. Bassoon. All right. Yeah, cool. Yeah, beautiful. This is the kind of stuff I love for ambient, for dark ambient specifically. Really super nice. I love this. I think this is kind of like, I'm sure this has a name, but it's kind of like its own genre of music. I love this kind of like moving from one noisy ambient soundscape to another, using that to create rhythm, obviously, but also all the textural changes. I'm sure, I mean, some of you must know what you would call this, but I love that. It's just such a simple concept, but super powerful. And when you have interesting sounds that contrast against one another in a really interesting way, there's like a natural, like contrasting but overlapping compatibility. It's super cool. Like, this is so inspiring to me that I could actually just make an album based on this. And I will in the future, God willing, but if I have enough lifespan. But yeah, I mean, it's such an interesting compositional concept to me. I love that. I'm hoping there's more of this in here. Obviously, you can do it with the engine yourself as well, but you know, also I love presets, good starting points made by great sound designers. So what's not to, you know, wish for more. And this is really good. I would want to kind of bring more repetition to the synth element, but that's such a beautiful thing. Distortion there is coming from the limiter, but actually sounds pretty good. So I might even distort that myself. I mean, those wind chimes are beautifully captured and put in here. Stellar work. really beautiful pairing of things. Kind of a space band meeting this kind of organic texture. I'm slightly unnerved by the flying things because I don't like wasps. I don't frankly like any flying buggy things at all. It's pretty disturbing to me. So I would probably switch that out. Beautiful. I love these kind of ambient things mixing with like a subtle synthy thing. Very nice. Yeah, that's my kind of a jam. Yeah, beautiful. Again, dark ambient stuff I would do with that. Really nicely, the choir to me becomes a bit too obvious as you move higher here, but this is a personal preference thing, not like a statement about how it's done. I like that because a lot of the time the choir stuff for these kind of sounds can be too obvious, and I prefer when the humanity or the human voice is kind of hinted at or referenced in a more sort of subtle way, but still keeping it like big and choiry sounding. I think it works here fantastically, so well done. Man, Oxford sounds... oh, it's Orford, not Oxford. I was going to say Oxford sounds scary. It is scary. Well, that's the most horrifying seagull I've ever heard in my life. Absolutely beautiful. Again, that goes straight into the instant use dark ambient folder for me. Beautiful. I'm going to try and be faster here because there's so much to go through, and I want to try and finish this today, so I'm going to pick up the pace. Going to be moving forward faster and then playing stuff as it speaks to me. Yeah, I mean, I love that Brussels MIDI thing. Yeah, this is really nice because you can quickly preview what you like and what you don't, and then you can turn it off or on accordingly. insta favorite for that. I love this kind of stuff. Yeah, I just love good, windy, big recordings. That Distant Mountain sounds amazing. I mean, I would probably not use these together, but so many interesting things like the tactile nature of that, mechanical noise, and I also love the synth in there. So I would probably go in there and separate stuff for different purposes, but beautiful. Yeah, this kind of showcases a very interesting thing that some of these presets have taken sounds that we would typically find as, neutral or calming, and he puts in a different context. It's that bird begins to sound quite unnerving there. It's like, it's not supposed to be here. It's like, if this is a scary place or a tension place, why is the bird so calm? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, but I love these kind of recontextualizations, obviously very powerful for music use. What else did I want to say about that? Oh yeah, I love that kind of windy howling noise there. Beautiful. One of my favorites. Yeah, these kind of resonant subtle tones, I really, really love those. Yeah, loving that. Again, dark ambient, S tier type of source material. Very, very, very good. Yeah, I think that's actually what Twitter sounds like. So, very well aptly named preset. Cool. So that was Soundscapes. Really, really nice. Has quite a wide set of different sort of styles that it's going for. Obviously, I'm going to go for the kind of things that I'm interested in, but this is kind of casts a quite wide net when it comes to, it's called haunted spaces. So obviously we're all going to interpret that. That's going to mean different things to all of us. And it casts, I'd say, quite a wide net in terms of what that sound can mean to people. But yeah, a lot of stuff. Obviously, I like the more sort of like big, ambient, ominous, textural, dark stuff the most out of here, and luckily there's a ton of that. Let's go into pads. Again, I'm going to open all sub-banks, but in here you can further categorize this into calm, complex, and motion. Now, again, I'm not going to be, unfortunately, able to tell from this approach, but I think it's kind of necessary so that we can do this demo in some sort of a rapid, semi-rapid, reasonable pace. But you should know that they are put into calm, complex, and motion categories, so that should make your browsing easier once you open it up there. But we are going to go through pads just as they are presented here together. Let's get going. Wow, that is a beautiful combination of all of them being fantastic source sounds. Again, a lot of things going. What I like about this is that even if this preset isn't exactly what I want to go for, I can clearly hear each element, and I can go in there, focus on that, or find what I'm looking for. But it's I love when instruments are easy to track in your mind, because you get a good preset, you have an idea, you want to change it, do something different. If you can sonically wrap your head around the sound of it and locate it fast, that's a really, really, actually a big thing that I look for in libraries. Like, again, one of those things that pushes a library from great to excellent to me. And it speaks to good sound design. And that sounds amazing. There's also some really good noise. It might sound stupid, but there are different kind of noises. They don't all sound good. Yeah, this is all so like tactile, it's so visceral, I love it. It's beautiful stuff. really interesting combination of things there. I would probably do a bit of stuff to make the transitions a bit smoother, but very cool. I mean, these source recordings, these field recordings are beautiful. They're really, really beautiful balance of, they have this tangibility, but they're also like very natural and easy and pleasing to listen to. They're not over extended, over hyped, over pushed. Yeah, so happy to see more of these. I just love this approach a lot. I think that's something I'll probably integrate into some of my work a lot more. I just love it. It's such a great way of creating movement and separation and contrast and texture, and it's so rich sounding. Yeah, excellent. Limiter clipping. Really cool sampling there. And by sampling, I mean like how it's also put together. Very interesting combo. Yeah. I mean, the field recordings are stupid good. Yeah, I'm doing it. I mean, to me, that's just that hits such a beautiful, stunning balance of, I mean, the texture, the atmosphere, okay, so we got a Juno here. Let's have a listen to what these do. It seems like the gas pipe has that pitch and those harmonics. Then we have this beautiful, the crackling is so nice. The air or the whatever the shh up there is. That is just stellar. So all of these elements, like, they hybridize into this one super coherent sound that you just perceive as being one sound. Nothing is missing. Nothing is too much. It's just, yeah, just music. It's actually a glass sound that I actually like. I think a lot of them get way too resonant, but this is nicely sort of calm and more sort of zingy. They're a bit of like that top, kind of the natural distortive sound you can get from glass. It's actually very, very, very nice. I mean, we have to play that. That is a astonishing sound. I mean, just the weight of that low end is just so context establishing. It's like the immense weight and presence of it. And I mean, that's perfect. I mean, these field recordings are stupid. Really nice blend of sounds. They're definitely in that kind of same ballpark where they fit very nicely. I would probably do something separate with those, but that's just me. Beautiful. so good. That sounds amazing. That's like the perfect underwater sub type of a thing. Obviously, you can do other things with it, but that's like perfectly nails that atmosphere for me. That sounds heavenly. But let's do it without the limiter clipping. Yeah, you could do some really chill, heavenly stuff with that. Yeah, another ethereal, heavenly thingy-majingy. I love the name, non-party cathedral, as opposed to typically cathedrals being the party centers of the world. Okay, so that electric thing sounds amazing. Yeah. Great. Wow. Ten out of 10. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I just happen to love that kind of like, again, ambient soundscapey thing with like a blippy bloppy synth like that. It's just exactly my kind of a jam. I'm happy that there are those in here. Obviously, kind of like a minority type of thing. I don't know if people would even use them like that typically, but I happen to love that. That to me, that's like S tier, because you have this. It's so difficult to like balance that blippy bloppy, a bit like lo-fi synthy thing with the ambience and make the balance really coherent for that kind of style that I would go for. So fantastic. Slow throb. I have one of those. Again here, with this combination of sounds, I would probably not work with that, but individually. Yeah, very cool stuff. I mean, yeah, just listen to that weight. You have that noise there, but then the low rumble just gives it so much size. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, obviously some of the source samples are introducing that bit of dissonance there. I would need to work with that a bit, but I mean, otherwise, like, beautiful sound. Yeah, just stellar. Another beautiful, big, low thing. I mean, the perfect amount of church bell that you hear in the distance. It's just like loud enough to recognize and establish itself, but not loud enough to become actually disruptive. That is beautiful. Again, the same thing. Obviously, the drifting pitch here kind of dissonates the thing, but that's fine. I think that's workable because I think it's coming from the engine. But yeah, I love these kind of like small, tiny, bleepy synths with that atmosphere. They're just too good. Yeah, another beautiful dark ambient soundscape. Good. We went through the pads. So we kind of went through the emphasis that I intuited would be kind of the center thing here for me. So now let's go through the other folders. We're going to have to kind of do it at a rapid pace, but let's start with Radiophonics because I think that sounds really cool. And listen to these. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like I'm just going to favorite all of these. And this is just like no-brainer S-tier dark ambient stuff. Again, that was the limiter clipping, but it sounded kind of good. I mean, yeah, at this point, that is like dark ambient perfection. That's stupid good. I mean, that glass wine thing is beautiful. That's going to be like a toolkit solution for me for sure. And again, the ambiences are kind of no-brainer, amazing. I love these kind of mechanical noises, electronic mechanical noises. They're just amazing. Quite hard to come by, but stellar. yeah, very cool. Those kind of noises can be used in certain like more noisy genres as rhythm elements, because you don't probably want to use, in many cases, an actual percussive instrument. Limiter clipping. And this is just so cool stuff for me, because I've had the interest of doing that, but never really. I think this is kind of like the first kind of technical solution that I've actually, because I've used libraries that do have this kind of XY pad thing, and it does jump from corner to corner as well. But I think here the source samples really like click for me a lot, because it's very noisy, very textural. There's a rhythmic element there as well. So I'm, very, very inspired by this. Again, which is some of the highest praises I can give to an instrument, because, again, ultimately, it's about writing music. And if I have tools that let me do that, inspire me to do that, then there's no higher praise than that. Well, that sounds like another bleepy bloppy synth that I like. Okay, that's a bit loud though. I mean, I think this sounds stellar, and obviously we can see this automation thing here going crazy. But I think this is wonderful. This is the first one I've bumped into where it does things at this kind of a rate. And I wish we bumped into that sooner, because this, again, is super inspiring to me. It creates a beautiful, beautiful sound. Again, this is kind of like genre defining or genre creating. I mean, I know this type of music already exists, but it's pretty wild how like the scope of this is so. Again, the net casted is pretty wide, because they could do this just in one library, and I would love it. I mean, how cool is that? I love that. mean, these ambiences across the board are just so good. They have that low-end weight and presence, which establishes a soundscape super strongly, but also like the airy, noisy layer is incredibly good as well. All right, cool. Soundscapes, radiophonics, and pads done. Percussion, geez, let's do that. That's so inviting to me. I'm gonna have to be a bit more. I can't do absolutely everything here, so we can wrap this up today. But let's. I'll have to be a bit selective here. That's actually really cool. It's kind of appropriately lo-fi, so it fits kind of the thing. So the jankiness actually works in its favor. Very nice tone. So this is exactly what I expected more of when going into the percussive folder, because I was kind of thinking it's percussive from the perspective of how the sounds are put together, how the engine is behaving. Seems like it's more like, okay, it's percussive from the source sample standpoint. So yeah, this is kind of what I was looking for, like the percussiveness coming from the movement of the engine. So I actually really like that. I hope there's more of this. Yeah, so it seems like it's more source sample focused. But again, the main thing here is that the instrument inspires me to think differently. And this is like a whole different approach to percussion, taking different source sounds and switching between them to create rhythm, which is fantastic. So although I would love for more of the percussive sources to do that, that's just kind of my own subjective expectation. But the main thing is that it gives me ideas and inspires me to pursue that. So that's solid. Next up, let's go into strings. Sure, because I have no idea what this is going to be like. Yeah, so these clearly function the way that we've heard so far, kind of, how should I call them? They're not like, I guess there's a bit of like Selena type of thing in there. Kind of these more, I would call them maybe resonant type of hybrid kind of sample, but synthy string things. Nice to blend in there if you're going for that kind of a sound. Personally, not a big user of those type of sounds, so it's kind of like, you like what you like. But I appreciate them being there as a folder because it makes it easier to navigate. Sequence. Okay, we are clipping the limiter. Yeah, this is actually the first time when the synths sound like really like speak to me, like in this sort of a more traditional, juicier analog thing. So it's really nice to hear that that's in there. The Juno sounding pretty good. But yeah, I love this sequencing. Again, here, I don't like the combination of sounds. It's a bit kind of like, well, not my kind of a style, but I like that it gives me the idea of, hey, this is the pattern, and I can just jump in there and replace something. So for example, probably do something here. Let's just throw stuff on the wall. Okay, well, it's kind of pitching stuff also, so that doesn't quite work. But in principle, I like that. Yeah, these thinner, bloppier, kind of more lo-fi synths are done so well here. Like every single one I've heard has been superbly good. Yeah, it seems like this folder kind of emphasizes on like how the engine can tweak, change the sound. Yeah, it seems like sequences more here are utilizing the engine to then create and shape the sound there versus being more like doing what I percussively expected it to do. Because sequences could also be like, okay, we're sequencing the source sounds into a different sort of a pattern. But here it sounds like the engine is more like shaping and chewing on it. Okay, do a couple of leads here. That's actually super good for that kind of noisier thing. Yeah, this makes me kind of like, there are some presets that are just like S tier, but they're in there, like just a few of them here and there. And it kind of makes me like want more of that. But again, like the net is cast very... Oh, sorry, my phone is ringing. Sorry, I thought that sound was coming from the instrument, but I recently changed my ringtone and didn't realize it was me. Sorry about that. These actually seem really good, kind of like reminding me of they're named like leads, but yeah, definitely like more melodic, but these are also super full, so you could actually like build an entire track based on some of these. Like, yeah, this is really good. How good is that synth sound? Jeez. I mean, insanely good. These are really impressive, these leads. Kind of like song establishing. Like you could pick one and just be inspired to write a song. Obviously leaning into that kind of noisy, distorted sound, but there's like a genre of music in that category. Beautiful. Those synths are so good. It's going to be one of the best like music box sounds I've ever heard. It's so light. And they get that rattle, the slight like distortion that comes from the metal when it kind of like chewing against the other note. That's really, really cool. This is a really cool folder. Kind of wish we had more time to check it out, but What can you do? Impacts. Don't know what these are. Let's try them out. These are actually really good to have in here because it kind of rounds out the utility of this library very nicely, because you might go from section to section or build your track and you want to have those kind of like impact points or transition points where something, else kind of comes in and establishes a change. So that's well thought out in general. Cool. I think that's all the time we have today. To wrap this up, this was an extremely, extremely positive experience. I mean, first of all, before I forget it, this loads up so fast. I know it's only loading up like 4 waveforms at a time, so it's not like a technical miracle yet. So do a lot of other Kontakt libraries, and they load up a lot longer. Obviously, you could argue that, this is then doing less other things, which takes it to load up. But regardless, I mean, things load up super fast here. So much so that it catches my attention. So that's amazing. So this is very pleasant to use from that perspective. So sound-wise, again, this thing casts quite a wide net. Obviously, it's called Haunted Spaces, so you sort of think that it's mostly like dark, scary tinted, which it is, but there are so many different angles to it. Like, a lot of these sounds do have that kind of slightly sort of glossy, like radiant, slightly glassy and kind of shimmering sound that a lot of like Soniccouture stuff does. Personally, that's like not my biggest thing that I enjoy sonic wise, but again, it comes down entirely to what type of sounds you like and what you want to write. For me, the biggest things here, I mean, first of all, we have to talk about just the raw source samples. Like, the field recordings here are stupid good. Like, they are, if you do any kind of music that incorporates field recordings and ambiences, this definitely needs to be in the conversation for getting those source sounds, because they are so beautiful, full, and again, like highly visceral and tactile, but none of it is like intrusive or too much. It's always super nicely balanced, very natural, organic, but simultaneously captivating and interesting. So truly beautiful recording work done on those. And obviously, having the vision and the understanding of knowing what to record and where and how. So beautiful artistry from the perspective of recording. So those alone make this, if you're making music with that kind of stuff, those alone, if this didn't do anything else, it would be, I would say, worth it. Certainly for this intro price period, for sure. But even like $200 for that, if you really use it and you love it and you build things with it, then very much worth considering. For me, I love dark ambient. This does that kind of stuff beautifully. Just like so many of the field recordings, the ambient ones, you get this beautiful, present, hefty, establishing low end, and then beautiful sense of air, beautiful sense of noise. And again, it's all so beautifully balanced. It's not harsh ever. I never felt, not one single time, that it was sort of things were out of balance. All the frequency registers, the frequency areas were so coherently put together in the recording. So that's fantastic. So yeah, if you do dark ambient, this is kind of like a no-brainer. Also, a big thing for me was there weren't many of those presets, but there were a lot of like bleepy, bloppy, lo-fi type of synthy things, like thin synths paired with some ambient stuff. Every single one of those that I heard was amazing. Again, it's not like there's a lot of that in here, but it's just like this casts a very wide net in terms of different artistic perspectives on sound that it can deliver on. To have like this lo-fi synthy ambient thing, and then the dark ambient thing, and then the kind of more like glossy typical synthy thing that this does the most out of all of these things. It's just really, you go through these presets and you go like, what? Like this is in here, but this is also in here. Yeah, I mean, hopefully these kind of videos help you understand what's in here, because it does cover a lot of ground. And I'm really like genuinely staggered. Maybe that's a word. Yes, let's go with that. By how good the sound design is on some of those synths. Like they are just so perfectly put together, which makes me think like, why don't we have more of that? Because I would love a library just based on those things. Because it's not a coincidence that they happen to make a sound in that style that sounds so good. You don't land on that randomly. So I just want more of that. Yeah, it's those were just, S tier. So yeah, S tier stuff in the dark ambient category, S tier in the lo-fi ambient synth blippy bloppy things, S tier stuff in the field recordings of the ambient stuff. The leads really surprised me positively. We left it towards the end because I thought, okay, this kind of a library, because I'm thinking it's probably ambient soundscapey, is probably the least gonna work in that style. But I was wrong, because that kind of has like, I don't know, like burial type of things in there. But again, like sounds that could establish an entire song on their own in that sort of like a grimy, darker, distorted, noisy type of thing. So I actually wish we had more time to dive into those, but the leads worked super well. And again, you could do in this sort of like a noisy, distorted, not like pop type of thing, but hopefully what I'm after there, like more song-ish type of stuff. Leads those were really, really good. The pads, again, this is kind of like where terminology can overlap and mean different things for different people. To me, this is kind of like an extension of the Soundscapes, but there were a lot more like synthy pad things in there. But again, don't be afraid to dive in there, because you can then figure out or find more soundscapey things in there, and maybe more paddy things in Soundscapes. So it's like those are definitely going hand in hand. What I loved about this, talking about percussive things, is that this really inspired me at approaching rhythm and percussion building differently. We had some of those presets that kind of abruptly jump from sound to sound, and obviously you can create rhythmical patterns that way. This thing does that absolutely insanely well. Again, I wish for my particular taste and what I want to go for and want to be inspired by, I wish there were more presets in that style as well. Kind of same thing as those lo-fi, synthy, bleepy, bloppy things. But again, maybe that's just me, but for me, they were just super inspiring. The sounds, the source samples really blend together so nicely. You going from different textures to different tones, and creating rhythmic patterns that way, for me, is amazingly inspiring. So I definitely want to do more of that. Again, not a ton of presets in that style, but the main thing is that it inspires me and gives me ideas so I can go in there and do it by myself. But again, that's some of the highest praises I can give to any instrument, period, because if it can inspire me to write music, well, that's what this thing is about, this music thing. It's not just about great instruments or virtual instruments or sample libraries. It's about ultimately writing music. And if this can inspire me to do that, then again, that kind of puts a library to the highest tier for me in that regard, certainly. But I love those abrupt pattern percussive things. They're just so good. Radiophonics, amazing. I think still there's not a lot of libraries that do a lot of like electromechanical noises. So I can't really have too many of those, and they sounded great. I love those. So there's that. That's my summary of this, my take on this. Very happy I could finally check out Haunted Spaces, even if it was version 2, because again, I heard so many good things about Haunted Spaces 1. So I'm happy it got an update, and I'm happy I got to check it out finally. And certainly will be utilizing this in a number of ways. That's one of the other strengths that this has, because it's like truly a creative toolkit. It's not just, ooh, do scary spaces, but this is like a very, very powerful toolkit for different sort of purposes, because I'm going to use it for that dark ambient thing. I'm going to use it for those lo-fi, synthy, bleepy, bloppy things. I'm going to use it for that percussive thing that we talked about, of the abrupt sequencing and movement. Going to use it for the noises. So there's just so much that this offers me personally. And if you have similar taste, then it's probably obviously going to do that same thing for you. So yeah, let me know what you think of Haunted Spaces 2. Also let me know what you think of Haunted Spaces 1, because it's been around for a long time and has been very loved by many. So interested in hearing your past experiences and also comparing it to 2. And also this has been out for a few days now, so would be interested in hearing your personal findings and experiences with this. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Finished.